Hey guys, welcome in to the Sportscast here. Your hosts Brian, Craig, and Jeff. My guys, how are you doing?
Doing pretty good.
Hanging in there.
Hanging in there. Well, I'm glad the game tonight in college football is kind of a blowout. Because we're doing a podcast during it. But I've been looking for this podcast for a while. It's the Wildcard Weekend edition. It is playoffs, baby, and if your team's in it, you just are a little bit more happier this time of year. Sorry, Craig. Um, but my team and Jeff's team's in it. Best of luck. Best of luck, Jeff. To your team in the playoffs, and we
I don't
shall
have to
see what
stress out
happens.
tomorrow or Sunday, so I'm just like, yeah,
Yeah,
just
you get
chill,
a you
chill
get the
out,
bye.
just chill
Well
out.
earned. Well earned. I kind of wish Steven was on tonight. Steven was supposed to join us because because he has some hot takes. All right, Jeff. He has some hot takes against the Denver Broncos. And I was looking forward to this argument because
he's is he still salty about that beatdown that happened earlier this year,
he
or what's
says
going on?
he says the Denver Broncos had the easiest cupcake schedule in the NFL. And I'm like, bro,
We
they
played
beat the
Houston in
Eagles, they beat the
Houston. We
Packers,
played
they
Eagles on the road and beat them.
I'm like, are you getting
I
mixed up with the
mean,
Patriots? The Patriots had a cupcake schedule.
I don't know where that's coming
I
from.
was looking forward to the argument. But and he, talking crap about the Packers, so I was looking forward to it. But maybe he jumps on. I don't know. He said something came up, but we'll have to get him on the show
This is the second year
sometime
in a row we've made the
sometime soon.
playoffs when not making it for so long. So I'm not like, yeah, I'm I'm just glad to be in the playoffs, man.
Oh yeah. Um um making the playoffs is the whole point, right?
Yeah.
Because if look, and I'll tell us to anybody, and most most this is how I feel. Most fans don't. There's always those idiots that are like, if you don't win the Super Bowl, you're just the first loser. We're all losers. All right, that's a stupid way of thinking, in my opinion. If your team doesn't even make the playoffs, okay, what does every team work for? Every team, every coach, they work their ass off to what? For the chance at the Super Bowl. And if you don't even make the playoffs, you don't have a chance. My team makes the playoffs, at least they have a chance. They're better than your football team. They played better or whatever. Or they're, the exception of the Panthers, who are just playing a really, really bad division. But other than that, which we need to talk about the division thing too. Other than that, I'm like, if you didn't make the playoffs, you can't talk crap. Because at least my team had a chance. That's, you know, a lot of fans are not like that though, and they talk a lot of crap. I'm like, you're sitting at home. You won 3 games this year. It's like, shut up.
Yeah.
I digress. Anyways, we're gonna talk about the playoffs. Obviously, wild card weekend coming up. We're gonna get into our predictions of this weekend. We're gonna give you our Super Bowl matchup predictions as well. But I wanted to ask the question: who has the most pressure on him to win this season? Um, whether it be a coach, whether it be a player, whatever. There's a couple different things that I wrote down. My guy is, I think, Josh Allen. And I think that's the easiest one. And Josh Allen is obviously a really good quarterback. He was MVP last season. He always ran into Mahomes, right? Hasn't been able to get past the Mahomes mountain. Well, this year there's no Mahomes. There's no Lamar Jackson. There's no, Tom Brady. He's not facing this Tom Brady or anything like that. This is the clearest path he has. He's supposed to be better than the other quarterbacks in the AFC. It's time to show up or shut up. I don't If he doesn't win it this year, it's going to ask a lot of questions. Is he ever going to do it? Or is he going to be one of the best quarterbacks to ever not win a Super Bowl? And I think if they don't win it this year in Buffalo, I think they blow it up. I think the coach is gone. Um, and they blow it up. Now they still going to keep Josh Allen because he's that good of a quarterback, but I think things look a lot different there in Buffalo if they don't go on that deep run and make the Super Bowl or at least the AFC Championship game. But um, I think he has the most pressure. I listed a couple others. I'm interested to see what you guys think about it, Craig. Who would you say has the most pressure on him to win this season in the Super Bowl, and then in the playoffs?
I mean, I think Allen is the obvious answer, but I also don't think he has the team this year to make that run. If you look at that side of the bracket, it's stacked top to bottom. I mean, the 7 seed in the AFC has 11 wins. It wasn't like a normal year where you have teams with 9 wins, 8 wins, and there's a clear kind of the first round, even as a lower seed, like they're the 6th seed, and I don't like the draw they get right out of the jump.
Yeah,
So now, I mean, from a talent standpoint, Allen, yes, I take him over anybody, but with what he has around him, there's all these other teams have 6 and 7 game winning streaks coming in. You know, I mean, the Texans have been in playoff mode since they played Buffalo on a Thursday night 8 weeks ago. They had a 12% chance if they lose that game. They had a 21% chance if they win the game. They win it and they win out and almost win the division.
yeah,
So you've had teams that have been playing for their playoff lives for a month and a half now. And now Allen has to go on the road. He doesn't get any home games. He doesn't get the Buffalo crowd. He doesn't get it's the toughest path he's had. Even if the word Mahomes or Brady or it aren't in the Burrow, they're not in the way, but the path is harder now than it's been. If he had a clear, couple home games, the road ran through Buffalo and he didn't make it, yeah, that's a different story. But to me, they're up against their toughest task yet,
yeah,
even without the Mahomes and the Burrows and the Lamars.
yeah.
He's facing his toughest challenge yet. So if he was to make it this year, even though it's without all the mountains, he still has plenty of obstacles
Yeah, I agree with
to
you,
overcome.
and I agree he has a lesser team this year than he's had in the past. And I didn't even list that Burrow was not in the playoffs, so I knew I was missing somebody. Jeff, who do you got, buddy? The most pressure to win in the playoffs. Um, I got a couple other names here too. I'll throw out after your answer and we can talk about. But who do you got there? Is it going to be Josh Allen? I think that is the obvious. But um, what say you, Mr. Campanosi?
Uh, I think Josh Allen. Think we've brought this up numerous times. I think even to start a season, we've brought it up numerous times on playoff episodes, preview playoff episodes in the past. Um, there's times where we thought he was the clear cut favorite, then did something weird happens and he goes up against, a team that obviously has his number and had a lot of teams' number for many years, is not in it now. But it is a stacked AFC. Like, I think that's where the problem for him comes into focus is you have Houston, you have 2 of the best defenses in the NFL with Houston and Denver. It's tough to really go up against those 2 teams. He can try to navigate that. I just think it would be very difficult. He's gonna be on the road as well if he plays Denver. So it's that's a tough mountain to climb. I think Houston obviously will. They're to me I think Houston's one of the, if not the best defense in the NFL, and they're tough to go up against. So he's got like Craig said, he's got other obstacles he's got to go through, and then that's not including if you even make it to the final game. That's potentially Seattle or the Rams. Like that's not going to be an easy fight there, especially with Seattle, with that defense. So, you know, I kind of it's tough to say like the Packers, but I think at this point, maybe a little bit of that. But I think as of a guy who you've seen the talent, we've seen him do it in the playoffs, we've seen him do it all year, and it's been going on year after year. It's Josh Allen, without question.
Yeah. And you said the Packers. I did put LaFleur on here, question mark. There's been a lot of talks about Matt LaFleur losing his job if they don't go on a big playoff run. He's been here 7 years, right? And the statistic is if you don't win a Super Bowl in the first 3 years of a new coach, then it just doesn't happen usually. And that's one I threw out there. And the only way I think LaFleur's fired, if we lose to the Bears, I don't think he's fired. If we get blown out 35-10, we don't even show up, then I think he's fired. I named Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin's another one. He hasn't won a playoff game in 10 years, I think. Something like that. He
ain't starting this year.
And let's be honest, they lucked into the playoffs because the Ravens kicker can't make a field goal. He makes that field goal, Mike Tomlin's probably fired, and Harbaugh still has a job. Now Harbaugh doesn't, and Tomlin still does. I agree with you, Craig. I don't think they get out of the first round, and I think he will be fired for the Pittsburgh Steelers at the end of the season because of it. But I also put Justin Herbert in that conversation.
He only has 1 year left on his contract. They're going to let him finish it out.
Mm-hmm. I mean, possibly them and the Ravens don't ever get rid of coaches. I mean,
well, you fire the guy who's never had a losing season in the most tenured coach in the NFL. I'm going to reevaluate your evaluation of coaching because I would take him in a cocaine heartbeat.
And yeah, I mean, I would take him. I would take.
I mean, with the rosters, some of the rosters he's had, and to have that stat,
yeah.
I'm sorry, that's just he's
one
hell of a football coach.
And I think you're right, Brian, with the Herbert thing.
This guy, he gets a lot of excuses.
The only thing that I will say that Josh Allen over Herbert is because Josh Allen has actually had success in the playoffs. Who has done stuff in the playoffs. A lot of Herbert is like they barely miss or they get it to the wild card and then they lose it in a weird way. Like they just really haven't won really where you're like, wow, like that's crazy, or like with the Bills. I mean, they've kind of gotten to one game away from a Super Bowl numerous times. So it's like, I just think that Josh Allen people are just kind of waiting for that, right? Like,
right. Yeah.
And with Herbert, it's like, oh, that's right. It's like, shouldn't he have already gotten to this point yet? Like, it's
Herbert,
just,
and that's what I like. Herbert gets a lot of excuses. Like everyone loves him, but they haven't really hated on him yet. They haven't turned against him yet. What are we waiting on? So, I mean, if he goes out,
he's got another one this year.
It's just like
the offensive line's in shambles, and I mean, yeah, I just don't.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, it's going to be a challenge for them as well. Like, and when we get into all that, it's not going to be easy for him too. So, and he's got they sat him out, but it's like, okay, is his hand still good or what?
Yeah, he's been injured too. So we'll see. I want two things to happen with Green Bay. I either want us to win the Super Bowl, obviously, or I want us to get blown out so bad that we take Harbaugh or Tomlin after Tomlin gets fired. That's what I want. Because if I don't get one of those two coaches, there's no upgrade over Matt LaFleur. So I'd rather just keep him. Because there's no other guys that have been fired. There's no upgrade. Harbaugh to me, upgrade. Tomlin, upgrade. Other than that, I'm sticking with Matt LaFleur. But we shall see. All right, guys. Well, we want to do our Super Bowl predictions next, or do we want to break down into week one?
We save that to the end, probably.
All
I
right, we
would
can
think.
save it to the end. I really honestly haven't thought about it that deeply.
Haven't either.
That hard. So I just want to put it out there in case one of us is right. And then you're like, yeah, look at that.
Damn it, I should have bet.
I should have bet. All right, let's talk about the playoffs, baby. Week 1, Wildcard Weekend. It's where Packers have lived the last 3 years because they haven't won a division. But first game on the schedule is Saturday, 3:30. You got the Rams at Carolina. And Carolina beat the Rams about 3 or 4 weeks ago. So it makes it interesting here. Give me the Rams. I think the Rams take care of business. They're one of the best teams in the NFC. Matthew Stafford is going to be the MVP. Everyone wants to say Drake May, but then if you go look at the numbers aren't close. Matthew Stafford deserves the MVP this season. I like the coach Sean McVay. I like the veteran leadership in these tough playoff games. What's up, Steven?
What's up? The champ is here. The champ is here.
I saw something pop up. I was like, what?
The champ is here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, thanks for joining us, Steven, from the Dim Boys podcast. Appreciate you taking time out of your day, sir. We just are getting into the wild card game. So Rams, Carolina. I'm picking the Rams. Craig, my man, who you got in this game?
Devontae Adams has cleared injury protocol. He now comes back. Carolina's playing with house money. Obviously, no expectation to be here at the start of the season. No expectation to win that division with the Tampa implosion. I just think the Rams are too talented. It would be the shocker of the playoffs in the opening game if Carolina was to pull the upset. I hate that the Rams have to go on the road for this, but it is what it is, and I still think they pull it off.
Real quick here, what's up, Derpy? Realistically, Bills versus Rams. His heart wants the Steelers and Packers. I would love that as well. Missed you last couple weeks, Derpy. Thanks for joining the show. He says, shout out to Indiana Hoosiers for putting the belt on the butt right now in Oregon. Yeah, Oregon's
30, it's 35-7.
That's
yeah.
pathetic.
Don't tell Michael Irvin. He'll take it literally.
Oregon hasn't showed up. But thanks, Derpy. We missed you the last couple weeks. Appreciate you, sir. Jeff, we'll go with you, and then we'll go to Steven. Who do you got winning this game? I think it's a pretty easy answer here, but who do you got and why? You think there's an upset, or are you going with the Rams?
I'm going with the Rams. I think the upset time for the Panthers is kind of over. They've done it most of the year, but I just think in terms of talent and what the Rams are getting back, I just think it's not. It does bother me that they are on the road. But like Craig said, it is what it is. But I just don't see the Panthers doing the upset like they've done all year. They've pretty much done that.
They are missing one of their main offensive tackles, but he's missed the last 2 weeks as well. So, I mean, not like he's just missing this game.
It would be a shocker. I think a lot of people would be pretty shocked. And a lot of people probably would lose a lot of money. But yeah, I just can't. I can't trust that the Panthers are going to pull something off in the playoffs like that.
Who you got, Steven? Who'd you got?
So on paper, it says the Rams all day long, but I think the Carolina Panthers could actually come in and take it. Rico Dowdle, I think he's going to come in and just run all over the Rams. So I'm going to pull the upset and say the Panthers.
Going with the upset. All right. I got a couple upsets on the AFC. I'd probably say not early in the NFC. I don't think, but after we do this, I want to talk to you guys about seeding and how you really feel about it. But and I know Steven, y'all talked about the seeding on it as well a little bit there on the TikTok. So that Saturday night game, Green Bay travels to Chicago. I don't like the fact that this is supposed to be a snow football game. It's supposed to be snowing. I'm like, I hate it. We're gonna have wide receivers slipping. The game's gonna be mucked up, And I think that's the only way the Bears are going to beat. It can beat Green Bay if it's mucked up and a fucking fluke. The Bears are sorry for the language.
The last game was mucked up and there wasn't any snow.
Yeah, because we
Yeah.
can't catch an onside kick, and they played our
Exactly.
backup quarterback and barely beat us. I'm not
Don't be mad.
impressed with you. I'm not impressed with Caleb Williams. I'm not scared of the Bears. Packers win this one. I put money on it. I already put money on it. Packers win Saturday night, and we'll go on to the second round to face the Seattle Seahawks. But who you got? Who you got, guys? Steven, I know your answer already. I don't want to hear your damn answer. Steven, go ahead, Steven. Tell me about why you're going to choose the Bears over the Packers.
I'm saying the Bears are going to come in there and whoop that Packer ass.
No.
They have something to prove this
Yes.
year, and they're proving it. I'm telling you, Caleb Williams will come in with his fingernails painted and whoop all over y'all. Watch
They
it.
have the most fluky football team this season, hands down.
Hey,
and
at
I'll-
8:32 on the 9th. I called it.
Hands down. This team, and I was watching what was it, a little clip the other day on ESPN. And I forgot who a guy said it. He goes, the Bears have got a lot of fluky fourth quarter wins where they've come back in the last couple minutes. He goes, that's fine, but that doesn't happen in playoffs against very good football teams. You don't get those fluky type wins.
Green Bay's
in
not
the
a very
fourth
good team,
quarter.
though.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
I mean, let's be honest, Brian. Green Bay squeaked into the playoffs. They're not a good team.
I don't care how we got there. We're in it. I don't give
doesn't
a
matter, though.
damn.
I'm telling you,
We-
you're not gonna make it past the
By
first round.
process of
care.
elimination.
Yeah,
I don't
because you
don't
tied with the
care.
Cowboys. That's
We
the only
were
reason why y'all
in.
made it in.
We were in, and that's
It's
fine with
it's
me.
tough to hear
We didn't-
Cowboy fans say that.
Because the
mean,
Lions forgot how to
how
play
many times
football
has
for a
that
couple
happened?
weeks.
Yeah, we beat the Lions twice. Everyone said, "Oh, the Lions are way better in Green Bay," and we beat them twice. All right, one
give you
at
that
their
one.
And
house,
the
one
blind
at their
squirrel
house.
found an acorn every once in a while.
I'll give you that one.
Secondly, yeah, we beat the Lions twice.
but
we
also
did
that
a
first
little-
time they didn't have him on St. Brown, so
I don't get. Oh, don't give me injuries. You want to talk
Hey,
about injuries?
I'm just saying.
We're one of the most depleted teams in football, so I won't hear about
Why you
injuries.
will
Us
not-
and the
which is
49ers
why
are
you will-
right there.
Which is why you will not win Saturday.
Yes, we will. All our wide receivers are healthy.
But your
we'll win
quarterback
Saturday.
ain't. There's no
I'm
throw to
not-
him.
Quarterback
Our-
doesn't
our-
know what day it is.
Our
You're
quarterback,
lucky if he shows up at
Our-
the stadium.
our quarterback could have played last game, but we're not going to play him. We were in the playoffs by week 15. We didn't need to play. We didn't even need to play the last 2 weeks.
Okay.
That's how you could call it squeaking in if you want, but the last 2 weeks we didn't even need to play, and we were in the playoffs. So
Okay.
I'm not scared of the Bears Saturday night. Now,
No, you
past
should be.
that, playing Seattle, playing the 49ers, playing the Rams, we don't match up well. But the Bears, I'll take them. I'll take them.
All right.
I'm just saying, I'll take them. It's the same thing with the Cowboys and Eagles.
Ugh.
Cowboys beat the Eagles a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But you would be saying the same thing if it was Cowboys versus Eagles. You'd be like, I ain't scared of the Eagles. We're gonna win.
Nobody should be scared of the Eagles. Eagles
My-
are a fluke
my-
team too.
The Packers, first of all, I mean, we want to talk about the Packers and Bears. They have a better offensive line, and they have more veteran wide receivers. We got better everything else. Their defense is not better than ours. The only thing their defense is good at is turn over the football. That doesn't happen all the time. You can't count on turnovers and interceptions every
Jordan
game.
Love's good at throwing interceptions though, so
No, he's not. That's such a false narrative. You got to go look at the stats. He's
I'm
very
just
good
saying.
at protecting the football. Very good at
Alright.
protecting the football. Jordan Love is better than Caleb Williams. It's not even a question.
I'll give you that one. I mean, overall, yeah, but maybe not this year.
Better quarterback usually wins. Usually. Craig, who you got?
I don't like the way the Packers have played defensively since the loss of Micah Parsons. It completely changed the entire outlook of that defense. Their corners have not been able to cover. And
yeah. Our corner's
if-
terrible. And we added a terrible to him.
Right. You added
Sorry.
the cornerback that gives up the most yards and can't cover a fire hydrant.
Yeah, just double move him and he's good.
Right. If you can make 2 moves, then Trayvon Diggs is beat. If you make 1 move, then he's going to jump it and take it to the house. But if you make the second move, then he's going to stand there and say, what happened? I just don't like the way the defense is played. I think in a game where points are going to be at a premium if the weather is like it's supposed to be, I think it could be a low-scoring game, and that doesn't bode well for Green Bay. Because I think Chicago can do enough. If Love can't put up points because of the weather, then I think the Packers defense, if it comes down to a fourth quarter and you need to stop, I don't think the Packers can give you that. That's what it comes down to. I think, again, like I said with Carolina, Chicago didn't expect this right away. Chicago expected to bring in the new head coach, let him get his feet wet. This was probably the expectation for next year or the year after, not this year to win 11 games and win the NFC North, which was last year the best division in football. Obviously, Vikings and Lions both take a huge step back this year, and Green Bay has their own up and down, quarterback injured, wide receivers in and out, best defensive player out. I just don't like the way the Packers have looked. And the continuity of not having their quarterback play for 3 weeks, what's Love going to look like after having a month off?
Well rested.
As a Packer fan, that's what you're going to tell yourself.
Against Bears, realist, I have no problem with that.
I mean, I get it. You should have.
They don't
the
have.
Other game. You didn't.
And here's the biggest thing too. Bears have 0 pass rush. 0. I'm not worried about the pass rush. Even the Bears fans have said we've got to get somebody because in the offseason we don't have a pass rush whatsoever.
Right, but the game you just played was still close enough that 2 touchdowns in the last 2 minutes beat you. You weren't able to put up enough points to prevent. You weren't able to put them away when you had the chance. And if you have that opportunity again tomorrow night and you let the Bears hang around, I understand that 1-score games are not something you can build season after season after season. But Dallas did this just a few years ago. They had 7 1-score games the year before, and they lost all of them. They turned around the next year and had 6 or 7 1-score games, and they won all of them. And so this year, the Bears are just happy to be on the right side of the 1-score games. And if you give Caleb Williams the football at the end of the game, your defense isn't going to be able to stop him. That's just my you're playing in Chicago. If this was in Green Bay, it would be a different scenario. You don't have Packer Nation behind you. And I think there's going to be 60,000 Bear fans that have been waiting for this for years in there Saturday night, and that's going to be their Super Bowl because they know that there might not be a tomorrow because they're not expected to be there.
I'm gonna love when they get to go home crying again. Jeff, what do you got, sir?
Just gonna go run into Seattle and get curb stomped. I mean, why would you want to win tomorrow?
Go ahead, Jeff.
I look at this as a divisional game. This is like, to me, no matter what you chalk it up as, whether it's, yes, it's a playoff game, whatever, you lose, you're done. But these two teams have played each other. So now the 3rd time that they played each other this year. So if these divisional games are always weird. They're always like coin flips to me. The Eagles beat the Cowboys beat the Eagles. It's never like it's always like that. Same thing with the Broncos. It's like, oh yeah, you barely beat the Raiders. It's like, yeah, it's the Raiders. They know how to play against us. It's always been that way. So this is a weird game. It's a good game. I think it's going to be a fascinating one. I do think the weather plays a role in this. I think you're going to be it's going to be very tight. And that worries me on the Packer defensive side. That's the only thing that bothers me with that. And I agree with that. I just think that, man, they went down and scored real quick in that game that they lost at the last. I mean, just so easy. It was easy to win that close game after that muffed in the overtime. It was just so easy to win it against the defense like that. So it's just that worries me a bit. I don't think this is going to be like a score fest, obviously, but I do think if it comes down to the defensive side of it, I'm a little worried with the Packers defense, but I do think the Packers will win, but I don't think it's going to be by a lot. It's going to be a field goal or whatever. Any of these like close games, like Craig was talking about, I always kind of find that fascinating. I just think that in the league, we're so used to this like Mahomes era, let's go down and score 5 touchdowns, and that means you're good. It's just, I think, Brian and I talked about this at one point, like those close games, that's, if you know how to win those games, that's playoff games like that. I mean, you're never really gonna blow these teams out of the water. And I just don't expect, it's rare times where it happens, but like these are going to be, a lot of these games are going to be pretty close unless it's something ridiculous. But I just think this is the same thing. I think Packers win it, and I think they win it by a field goal. I think that it's the different when you say, okay, it's the Packers versus the Seahawks, or it's the Packers versus this other team. But this is a team that you've played against. You know the tendencies. This is like you both know each other backwards and forwards. Like if I go off like just in general how like Matt LaFleur and just the comfortability of this team with each other, all these kinds of things, I got to give it to the Packers. I just don't think the Bears.
You don't think Ben Johnson doesn't have something up his sleeve for tomorrow night?
I'm sure he does. But I mean, there's only so much you can do, right? Like, how many different plays can you really throw out there? There's probably about 3 or 4 ones that they haven't seen, and if you don't hit those plays, like that sucked. Well, you just showed your hand and you missed the play. So it to me, it's like, I think the Packers have played this team enough times and they have played each other enough times, but I think the Packers have upper hand on this matchup. And in terms of like love and how long it takes, if you cannot at this point stage in your career, he's been in the league for how long now, Brian?
4th or 5th year now.
4 or 5 years. He's been in the playoffs. He's played. If you cannot take a month and still put your body in a situation where you're still going to be ready somewhat, then I kind of question your ability to be a starter in the NFL at that point, because you either going to be on or not, like, and that's it. And if a month just takes you out like that, that's a little odd.
Yeah, I'm not worried about him being rusty. Love's come back from injury. Love's played hurt. I mean, and I'm not, and look, I'm not saying this because I'm a fucking Packers fan. I'm not no homer, but the Bears are not that good. They're not that good. And yeah, I'm not no damn homer.
The guy wearing the Packers hat's not the homer.
Yeah.
Or the Packers stuff in the background too.
Well, of course I'm going to rep my team. That's just repping my team, you fools.
The thing is,
like,
though,
you're not like the Cowboys. If the Cowboys are in the playoffs, you're not gonna be like, yeah, we're definitely gonna get our ass kicked.
It depends on who they're playing, honestly. Like,
fucking you're more homers than I am.
No,
the Bears are gonna lose this football game.
I didn't say anything good about Dallas all year.
Past Bears, I can agree with you on the past Bears, but this year they're putting it on. They're winning games. So I mean, it's any given Sunday. Or Saturday technically now, so you will see.
I mean, Caleb Williams he takes his chances, and I think that's where maybe the problem might be. Where it's like Caleb Williams, let me extend a play out of nothing, and then I still got sacked. It's just those little things like that in a playoff situation. I wonder if that creeps up, because again, we're forgetting it's the second year, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, he's going to make weird mistakes like that, and I could see that happening.
Yeah. I'm not big on Caleb Williams, but let's move on here. Buffalo at Jacksonville Sunday. And to me, this is the first upset. I got Jacksonville beating Buffalo. They've been, me and Craig talked about it the other night.
Not
They
really
were
an upset.
They were 4-3, and they finished 13-4. That's absolutely insane. And it's not an upset on your on numbers wise. Well, Josh Allen's supposed to be the best quarterback, and kind of feels like an upset. But I got Jacksonville winning this game and sending Josh Allen home early. I really like, and I really think Liam Cohen there has a good possibility to win Coach of the Year. And Trevor Lawrence is playing his best he's played, and I know we haven't been really high on him. They've played really good defense. They're a hard team to beat. So, I just think Jacksonville takes this one. And interested to see where they go from here. But I just, we talked about, I don't think Buffalo has, they've had a better teams in the past. If they want to win this one, Josh Allen's going to have to put it all on his back, and Jacksonville is just playing really good right now. So I got Jacksonville taking this one. Steven, who you got?
I think it's a toss-up. I mean, either team could win this one. I think it's going to come down to the wire, and I think this is a must-win for Jackson or for Josh Allen because he doesn't have to worry about Mahomes or Lamar Jackson. So this is his year. If he can take it, he can go all the way. But I think this is definitely a toss-up. But I think I'm gonna give it to the Bills.
Before you came on, we answered the question about who has the most pressure to win, and our unanimous answer is Josh Allen, due to the fact that you don't have Mahomes, you don't have Burrow, you don't have Lamar. You're supposed to be the best in the AFC. So I definitely agree with you there. Jeff, who you got?
Jacksonville is a strange team to me. I think they have a very good defense. And offensively, obviously they can do some things. Their running game isn't, oddly enough, their running game isn't as scary as people think. But that's crazy to say, but like when they played us, they couldn't run the ball at all. But again, I don't know if that's just the defense and the way our defense was put together. The Bills' defense is a little worrisome. It's a little worrisome, but I will say if this game ends up in a shootout, I'll take the Bills. I will take the Bills in that situation. If this ends up in a shootout, just gunslinging, and it's Trevor Lawrence versus Josh Allen, I'll take Josh Allen. But
my thing too, like Buffalo doesn't.
Where
stop
is
the
this,
run
by
very
the way?
well. It's in Jacksonville.
In Jacksonville, yeah.
But Jeff,
I gotta
Oh,
give
my
it.
bad.
I gotta give it to the Bills in this. I just don't trust the Jacksonville Jaguars. A very young team. Like they have some talent on there. They've stockpiled all those picks for years after being just horrible for so long, and they got all these young guys. And I'm just like, hardly any experience in the playoffs. And it's just like, if I'm giving some experience there, I cannot count Josh Allen out of a game. I've seen that guy come back from even down 2 touchdowns in a playoff game. Like it's hard to say that, man, Jacksonville's going to just, either make it hard for him the entire game, or they're going to get out in such a head of a lead that it's going to be insurmountable to come back. Like if it's a late game scenario and it's a Josh Allen versus a Trevor Lawrence, I would not trust Trevor Lawrence trying to come back to win a game in a playoff scenario against Buffalo. I would trust Josh Allen in that situation. So it's that experience level. I think that plays a factor in this. So I'm giving it to Buffalo.
Craig, who you got, bud?
Game's going to be the best game of the weekend. Lock your TV in. This will be the game that everybody watches. I don't trust Trevor Lawrence any further than I can throw him. I understand he's had a very good season, but when the lights come on Sunday afternoon and you're facing a must-win, one game, take all, Lawrence is going to have to prove himself, and he's never done that. Every game that it's been a big game, he hasn't. He's made the mistakes, and if you give Josh Allen the mistakes, he's going to capitalize on them. I don't like Buffalo's offensive line. I don't know what has happened to it, but about 8 weeks ago, the Texans broke it, and it hasn't recovered ever since that game. I don't know if there's injuries. I don't know what's going on scheme-wise, but I don't like that it seems like Allen's running for his life on every play and doesn't seem to have time. Travis Etienne, whatever brother is in Jacksonville, has a big game and then disappears for 2 or 3 games. And so can Jacksonville line up all the horses and hit everything right? I just think you give Josh Allen a chance, and at the end of the day, he's going to be there. And I can't bet against Allen in a game like this. He knows what's on the line. He knows what's at stake, and I'm going to take Buffalo.
All right, I don't. It's hard rooting for Jacksonville because they are a wishy-washy team sometimes. That's what they're known for. This year, they look a little different to me. I don't know. I'm not
I get it.
too strong on Buffalo.
But Jeff hit the nail on the head when he said they were young. You don't have the skins on the wall that all these other teams have. And the 13 wins, that division wasn't exactly great. The Texans came on late. But I just Jacksonville's going to have to prove themselves before I start picking them in a playoff game.
Totally
I do
agree on
think
that.
it's going to be the best game of the weekend as well. So, next is the 49ers, team we all hate, and against the Philadelphia Eagles, a team that we all hate, probably. I know you two do. To me, this is an easy one to me. I think the 49ers, I don't know about dominate, but I think they're going to win, and I think it's going to be by 10 points in Philadelphia. The Eagles, we talked about the implosion. I think it's coming after they lose first round. 49ers are just a good football team. They came close to winning that freaking tough division. They're well coached. They're the most injured team in football, and they're still double-digit wins, and they still find ways to win. That's really impressed me. That their head coach is just amazing. I got 49ers winning this one. This would be an upset on your numbers, but it doesn't feel like an upset to me. Craig, who do you got in this matchup?
In a game that should never have happened, I have the Niners. And immediately after the game, I don't know if Lurie had anything to do with it, but the head coach should be fired immediately afterwards because he didn't play his starters in Week 18 and caused them to have a much harder path in the playoffs. When you have a chance to get the 2 seed and you decide just not to and make yourself – you could have had the Green Bay Packers and a guaranteed second-round home game, and instead you have the 49ers and now have to go on the road to, Chicago or Seattle next week. You reap what you sowed, and you're going to get curb stomped, and you're going to lose by double digits. And I hope everybody in the organization pays the dividends for it because San Francisco is going to dog walk them.
How about you, Steven? Oh, sorry. My bad. Go ahead, Jeff.
No, I agree.
I
agree. I can't pick the Eagles in this situation. I think the offense is an absolute mess. You had this weird flash of Saquon doing something a couple weeks ago, and I was like, "What the?" I'm like, "Is he back?" And no, he wasn't. And so yeah, I don't trust their offense whatsoever, and I just think that the 49ers are just a better team.
Yeah,
without
better
question.
coached, better team,
Better coached, yes. And they have
Um,
McCaffrey.
Purdy's look good. McCaffrey's a beast. If MVPs went to running backs, he deserves it. Steven, what you got, bud? I think we all know your answer, but while we go
I
on here.
absolutely hate the Eagles, and you'll never hear me say the words "Go Eagles" ever in my life. I don't give a damn who they're playing, what's going on. I absolutely hate the Eagles. There's no way the Eagles are going to win this game. It's going to come down to Jalen Hurts, who is garbage. He is not a good quarterback. He's a good running back, but not a good quarterback. He cannot throw, so they're going to get destroyed. You have one of the best tight ends in the game with George Kittle. You got Christian McCaffrey, one of the best running backs. Brock Purdy's a damn good quarterback. There's no way. There's no way. And Sirianni is a complete, utter nutcase. Can't stand him either.
Where's this guy been all year?
Maybe you should join the Dim Boys podcast.
Like when I look at Sirianni, I want to punch him. Like I cannot stand looking at Sirianni.
He is annoying. Look, and it's funny because I
I
respect
think
the
they just
49ers.
got somebody out of the crowd to coach the team.
And then his personal bodyguard out there.
Like a regular Eagles fan.
Yeah, who's that fat guy
he's-
for no reason out there? I'm like, what is this big Joe? I'm like,
he's the personal
The
bodyguard
guy that
of
gets
Sirianni.
ejected for pushing players, yeah. Dom,
stupid.
Big Dom.
his Italian guru that he's over there, on the sideline.
Hey, calm your
I
ass.
respect. I taking shots at Italian. Jeff's Italian. What are you doing over here? Anyways,
Yeah.
I respect the 49ers. Like, it's a team I don't like because they beat my team every year in the playoffs, it seems like. So the Eagles.
Well, if you happen to pull off your miracle on 34th Street win against the Bears, then that's who you're going to get.
It won't be no miracle. No, I think we'll get Seattle because we'll be the 7th seed, so we'll jump up to the 1st. But anyways,
Either way,
the Eagles, not a big fan of theirs either. I know Cowboy fans hate them more, but I had some conversations and with some Eagle fans this year, and they're just annoying as all get out. I'm like, I can see why.
Yeah.
It drives you guys crazy because they're impossible. I thought I gave Jalen Hurts a compliment, and they were like, "You're an idiot." What are you? I'm like, "Whoa."
They're like
what
that
do I do?
with
I was
every
complimenting the
sport,
guy.
Brian. They're like that
It's
with every
terrible.
sport. They're just like that in baseball as well.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ridiculous.
I only know probably 2 Philadelphia Eagle fans that are actually decent people. One's my sister-in-law, one's her cousin.
Other than that, you're like,
Other than that,
"Suck."
horrible people. They're just horrible. They're disgusting.
Well, I think that's the first unanimous vote here that we all agree on. The 49ers are going to beat the Eagles. That night, we get the Chargers at New England. Everyone's going to pick.
I'm about to take your football commenting card if you say
Give
what
me
I
the
think you're gonna
Patriots.
say.
Give me the Chargers. The
No,
Patriots
bleh.
has had the most cupcake schedule in the league.
Have you
They
watched
have not played
a single
absolutely
Chargers game all year?
Nobody. They've played
All right,
nothing.
Ray Charles.
All right?
Jesus.
They've played the Jets and the
Watch
Dolphins
the game.
and nobody. I have watched the game, and I've watched the Chargers play
Mm-mm.
pretty good. Justin Herbert running for his life, but winning football games.
Right.
The running back. was
Offensive
pretty good.
line like a turnstile.
TCU wide receiver out there looking damn good. I like Harbaugh.
He doesn't
coach. I
have
like
time
the
to get it to
defense.
the wide receiver.
The Patriots have played nobody. Drake May being young. I like Vrabel. I really do. I like Drake May, but they've played the easiest schedule in football, and I think it's going to buy them in the end of the day.
I don't know. I
Give
think
me the
that
Chargers.
the Broncos are up there with the easiest schedule too. So
I told you, Jeff. I told you it was coming.
Right. Why are we the 1 seed then? If that's the case,
because you play a bunch of easy teams. You played the Cowboys. You
I don't
played
think
the,
so. We had
come
strength
on.
of schedule, so that's I don't know.
Steven,
I don't know if that's how it works.
I will have to
Titans.
disagree with you.
You played the Raiders.
They
You
played-
the Cowboys. Like
We
they
have to
played the
play the
Giants,
Raiders. They're
the
in our
Giants.
division. What do you want us to
that's
do
easy
about it?
wins. That's
Y'all
easy
play the
wins.
Eagles. I don't know. Like, what are you
They
talking
beat-
But that's easy wins though.
about? They're in our division. What are you talking about?
I'm going to sit back.
What
with some
are you
popcorn.
talking
I'm talking about the
They're
Cowboys.
in our
The Cowboys
division.
are garbage.
Have to play the game.
The Cowboys are garbage. The Titans are garbage. The Giants are garbage. Come on.
What?
What about
we
what
played
about,
Houston at Houston, beat them, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Packers,
Best defense in the league, correct?
Eagles,
Okay.
Chiefs?
I'm just saying.
Just saying. Like, I don't know, man. Think about it for a minute.
I don't think y'all's schedule was that hard.
Okay.
I don't
get in the
put
playoffs.
anything into strength of schedule because of you don't know. You're basing it off of the record from the year before, and the team could change. So I don't base anything off strength of schedule. Nobody knew Patrick Mahomes was going to blow an ACL. Nobody knew that the Niners were going to have 1,000 injuries. Nobody knew that. Well, we all knew that Matt Eberflus couldn't call the defense, but still,
Nobody knew Daniel Jones was going to do what he did.
Right. Nobody knew Daniel Jones was going to go over and win 8 games and then tear a Achilles tendon and they were going to lose out. That strength, I put very little into strength of schedule.
Yeah.
What I do put a lot into is watching that the Los Angeles Chargers or whatever, cannot block a single human being at the point of the offensive line, and Justin Herbert doesn't have time to. If the first read is not open, then sorry about your bad luck, but there is no reading, check down because he doesn't have time. And Vrabel is going to have this team ready to run through a wall, and they're just the better football team. Is Herbert a better quarterback? Maybe, but he's not going to have time to show that on Sunday afternoon. You've got the hand injury, you've got the offensive line, you've got all the excuses built in to why the Chargers won't win. It would be a miracle if the Patriots just went in. It would be the biggest disappointment for them to do all the work all year and then walk in and lose at home to a lesser Charger team, although they do have 11 wins.
But it's going to come down to, like we were talking about earlier with Josh Allen. I mean, Herbert's been in the league a lot longer than Drake May has.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm just saying, I kind of go with Brian on this one with the Chargers personally. I think the Chargers can do it.
I think they can too. Obviously I picked them, but look, there's going to be upsets. There's going to be upsets in the playoffs, right?
Remind me to text you guys on Sunday when it's a blowout at the OK Corral.
So I do not think the Chargers will win. And I'm not saying it because actually in a way, as a Bronco fan, I'd love for them to win because then that means we play against them. But because I think it's a better matchup. But I think to me, the Chargers, they have struggled offensive line. Their offensive line has been a mess. And I just don't see. I watched Josh Allen even the game before we played them, before they decided to not play him. And it was just like, it looked bad. Like, it looked bad. And I'm like, I don't necessarily, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, Drake May's the next Tom Brady and, here comes the Belichick 2.0. But I don't think the Patriots will lose this one. I think they lose eventually. I just don't think they lose this game.
And I know I could definitely see that. There's definitely going to be some upsets. We can, what I mean? Like, and everyone's going to choose the Patriots. And I just don't know how, I don't know. And I've watched Drake May and I've seen some Patriots highlights and he's been good and Vrabel's a great coach.
Right.
I don't know how good their defense is.
I think their defense is better than the Chargers. I think that also, if it's a shootout, I don't trust that offensive line protecting Herbert in a shootout. I just don't at all. And it's bad.
You just can't run. There's not going to be any deep routes. There's not going to be any plays that have time to develop. You don't have time for that. If the New England secondary can just cover for the initial 3 or 4 seconds, Herbert's in trouble. And
they hit hard. The New England defense hits hard. That's not a joke defense. They're not the best, but they're not like to just sit there and go, well, they're just gonna, they're like origami on a wet rainy day. Like it no, like it
They lost
hit
Joe
pretty
Alt.
tough.
They lost, they've lost a lot of key pieces to that offensive line. They're trying to put different people in. They're trying to do different things. Harbaugh's going to try to have some kind of game plan to add tight ends, and he is going to do everything he can because that's what he is. Him and the offensive coordinator that also came from Michigan love to run the football. And they cannot run the football behind an offensive line that cannot deal. And that's why the Chargers have struggled. The Chargers started off very hot. And then since the injuries, how they want to live in football games, I'm still trying to figure out because they have absolutely been in shambles. They've had the most offensive line combinations, different starting combinations over the course of the whole year. They have been trying for weeks and weeks and weeks to fix it. And I don't know. Do they fix it miraculously on Sunday? I don't think so because Joe Alt's not coming back. But
he's a machine, man, Joe Alt.
And he is. And he absolutely is. But and I'm not saying Drake May is the second coming of Tom Brady. That's a fallacy. I love the kid in college. I said when he came out that he was the top quarterback in the draft, above Caleb Williams, he got thrown into the fire last year and did not look good. I straight up admitted he was overwhelmed and did not look good. But he made the biggest jump from season to season that I've ever seen. And somehow they've won 14 games, and the kid he will protect you talked about love protecting the football. Drake May will protect the football. He's not going to make the big mistake that's going to beat you. And I can't say that for Herbert because Herbert tries to be the hero. And this is where the Chargers do their Charger best and fall a little bit short.
You were talking about that they can't get deep plays. All you need is 5 yards of play. That get you down there, score a touchdown. And you control the clock. That's all you need to do. I think that Harbaugh is going to do that.
Agreed. If you keep Drake May off the field, that's how you beat him. 100%.
Right. But if there's chunk plays and Drake May, all of a sudden you have the Chargers, they're down by 2 touchdowns. You're like, you're not going to win this game. Like, you cannot win a game like that where this dude's hand is messed up. His offensive line is on like third stringers, basically. Like, you just can't. There's not a scenario that just works. It takes away the run game. You become one-dimensional. Now you're in a shootout and you're running for your life as you're trying to win a game. It sets up a bad scenario for Herbert in this game. And I'm speaking as a Bronco fan. I would love for them to win, honestly. I would rather play them. But, I just realistically,
it would make the path. It would make the path a whole lot easier.
Oh, heck yeah.
All right, Monday night game, which probably won't be able to watch because I got to get up and
this
work.
This should not be allowed. This should not be allowed in the NFL.
Aaron Rodgers might die in
the schedule makers. Why do they do this? Why are we going to force a team to play on short rest in the playoffs? Why is there not a third game Saturday instead of 2 Saturday, 3 Sunday, and 1 Monday?
Yeah,
I don't care about the ratings. I don't care about the deal, but you're forcing a team to play on short notice because there's no way they're playing on Monday the next week. You're forcing a team to play on short notice. There should be no short rest in a playoff schedule. This is an NFL absolute travesty.
This is probably happening because of all these freaking deals with whatever streaming device known to
I get it.
And they're like, well, we want our game
ratings,
too.
It's a ratings,
crazy.
ABC or whatever, ESPN wants their part of the pie.
Right.
I get it. Then give it to them on Saturday night and put the Monday night logo up and I don't care what you do, but you're forcing the Houston Texans to play on short rest the week before.
What sucks the next week is what happened in playoffs just being on regular TV.
They're all on regular.
Bears Packers is on Amazon Prime. That's Amazon Prime has
But-
the rights to that.
But
I'm like,
but Amazon Prime will double it. There'll be another local network that picks it up.
It better be.
It won't be.
I don't-
It won't be
I don't
forced.
think. I mean, I have all the things, but I'm just for the fans. I'm like, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see Saturday because I'm like, that's stupid, absolutely stupid. I think we all agree Texans are going to win this. They have the best defense in football. Aaron
Best-
Rodgers
yeah.
is going to get murdered. I look. I want to see Aaron Rodgers win. I still cheering him on.
They get DK Metcalf back. Send him to the pasture in the retirement home. It's over.
I'm shocked he still plays.
I was rooting for him against the Ravens. They won because the kicker missed a field goal, and
I mean, it didn't matter.
They're trying to
it
get that
didn't
game
matter
away.
who won. The Texans were going to win either game, but it doesn't matter.
Texans, I mean, their defense is good. I think their offense is not all that great. Their quarterback's inconsistent, and I think it bites them in the end. Do they go to the Super Bowl and win? I don't think so, but they beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, and Mike Tomlin gets fired after the end of it.
Again, I disagree with the Tomlin take.
I
but
don't like the fact that Tomlin could get that. Doesn't I? Yeah.
The
I don't
I
think
think-
Tomlin's ever gonna get fired.
He's
he has
amazing.
one
I
more
love that
year
guy.
left on the deal. They're going to let him finish it out. If he didn't make the playoffs, I get it. But he's never had a losing season, and he's had a rotating roster of a bunch of has-beens and never was as a quarterback, and he's still somehow never had a losing season. And if there's not anybody else in the NFL that could say that. I don't care what your name is, you can't say that. You can't say that you're the most tenured coach in football and don't have a losing season. That's never happened unless your name is Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, it's
So,
great.
Jerry Jones would
right-
claim
That's
it.
wonderful. He's gonna get
Here-
get fired if he loses on Monday night.
I don't see that. I think they let him finish.
No
out
one
the year.
saw Harbaugh getting fired. You know,
There was
I
talk
just
about
feel-
it. There was talk about the loser of that football game, their job being on the line.
Yeah.
And I just think it has nothing to do with Harbaugh. I just think they need a new voice in that locker room. I think the players have
well,
lost.
Pittsburgh does too. I think. I mean, the fan base has been calling for it. They haven't won a playoff game in 10 years.
Right.
And
And I
That
understand that winning.
organization.
I understand that winning is everything, and he does nothing but win more games than he loses every year. So, if you don't like that, then be a Dallas fan and win 6 games. Quit your belly
That's
aching.
great,
That,
But I look
It-
and look, and I know it's been a while for the Dallas Cowboy fans and having success, but the Steelers
No,
organization.
they've
Hold up,
had
hold up,
plenty
hold
of
up, hold up.
success in the
The
regular
Steelers-
season.
Thank you.
The
Thank
Steelers
you. We won our division
organization-
like 2 years
Yeah.
ago. So calm your tits, Brian.
The
Calm your
the
tits.
Steel.
Y'all can't even win your
But
division this year.
It's the. Well, look, I'll talk about how bad the Eagles are, and you couldn't even win your division. All right, so let's relax
Yes,
with
this
that.
year
All right.
you couldn't win your
But-
division this year either. That's okay. When's the last time y'all won
Anyways,
your division?
You can't.
Exactly.
Let me get
you
to my
can't
point.
win-
God dang it! Let
you
me get
can't
to
win
my
a
point.
division with the Ray Charles defense.
All right. Let me get.
Like Oprah Winfrey, you get a touchdown. You get a
Yeah.
touchdown. Everybody gets a touchdown.
Let me get to my
I
point.
could cover
My-
a wide receiver better than a
My
Matt
point-
Eberflus scheme.
My point is this. It's the same thing. Well, it should be with the Cowboys. It should be, but you got Jerry Jones. I'm sorry. The Steelers,
Greatest
the
GM out there.
Packers, they're
it's
used.
not Jerry
the
Jones, it's
expectations.
white-haired Yoda.
The expectations are higher because the team, the organization you have, the not winning playoff games and losing them is not a standard that they look up to. There's not a standard that they want. Same thing in Green Bay. Same thing with Pittsburgh. It should be the same way with Dallas. I think the fans feel that way. Maybe not the owner, but it's like the Lakers, the Yankees. They're not fine with just making the playoffs. You got to have
and I
higher
understand
expectations, and just winning and getting in
I
is not enough.
and I understand that. But if you move on from Mike Tomlin after tomorrow, are you hiring John Harbaugh? Because that's
Might.
about the only answer that is better than deal. That's what you have to look at. The options of what you have out there. You don't have. I mean, are you going to go call Denver and get Vance Joseph? Well, that didn't work out real well when he was the
No.
head coach before.
It's not a good
So,
head coach.
like, leave him to be a defensive coordinator and leave him alone. But you don't have a bunch of names that are better than Mike Tomlin. There's
Call
nobody that
Eberflus.
can come in and set their resume on the table and go, I'm better than the guy you just fired. You don't have it. So go ahead and move on.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And I
but,
will live.
But somebody's going to get a damn good football coach because you're an idiot.
I will live by this.
And then
goes
when
the
you
same
hire
way.
the guy and he doesn't do as well as what Tomlin just did, then you should be fired.
It goes. I will live with this and this. And it goes with quarterbacks and it goes with head coaches. Keeping a guy keeping a guy that's not going to get you to the Super Bowl, especially quarterback.
Who's to say he's not?
Or Tomlin.
You don't even know who his quarterback's going to be next year.
Tomlin hasn't won a playoff game in 10 years. I'm pretty sure it's safe to say he's not going to get you to the Super Bowl.
Okay,
being scared of what's out there is not a good reason to keep the guy that it's not going to get you there.
This coming from the guy who hasn't won a Super Bowl in a decade.
I don't care, and I get it, and that's why I'm saying
we don't have any room to speak. We don't have any room to speak about Super Bowl.
Exactly.
Well, I know,
but he's and that's why Matt LaFleur is being talked about. No, that's why Matt LaFleur is being talked about losing his job. He's 7 seasons in, and he hasn't
talked about.
And he hasn't. Yeah, and he might lose it if he loses it.
But you just said if they don't go and lose 35-7, then he's safe.
He might. I mean, I'm
so
not the
go on the hamster wheel of mediocrity, and
I'm not Ed Policy. I don't know what he's going to do. He might lose his job if we don't make it. If we don't win the playoff game. I'm not Ed Policy. I don't run the Packers. God, I wish I did. I don't know, but there's very high talks that LaFleur is out at the end of the year if he doesn't win against the Bears on Saturday. If you don't
go hire John Harbaugh, then it's a bad move.
Maybe it's not. Maybe the guy we hire does good. You have no clue. Now, like, there's other guys out there. There's guys you've never heard of before. The defensive coordinator or someone, they are offensive coordinator. They hire him, and next thing you know, oh man, Liam Cohen with Jacksonville. Didn't think but man, Jacksonville looks really good.
Hey, you got Mike McDonald
don't
out
think
there.
Mike McDonald, the Baltimore Ravens got rid of him. Their defense plummeted, and he's over here got Seattle looking number one. I'm just saying, I never liked the fact of I got to hold on to this guy because I don't know what's better. He's not getting the job done. Ravens with Lamar Jackson. We don't think he's ever going to win, but they were scared of what's left, so they signed him. Well, he's not going to get the job done. Why are we signing him? I don't like. I mean, Craig, I get it. I understand.
It's hard to
I just
find
don't
quarterbacks in general, and I think that's probably why. It's like who we're going to get
because the NFL writers have Lamar Jackson so far stuck up their deal.
Yeah.
They give him the MVP when he's not the MVP every year. But hey, I mean, I got a 3-time MVP quarterback who hasn't done anything. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'd keep him too. Whatever. I mean,
yeah, I think it's funny that like people make fun of Dak about what he's done, but he's got the same record as Lamar Jackson in the playoffs, stuff like that. So I'm like, come on.
And he had better stats than him 2 years ago, and Lamar still won the MVP.
Dak played a hell of a year this year, and y'all wasted it. So.
Well, we didn't waste it.
Yeah.
We didn't waste it.
Defense is absolutely.
Matt Eberflus.
Trey Jones wasted it with Matt
Eberflus. Well, no, that was your head coach that hired Eberflus. That was a bad one. But Eberflus was throwing everybody under the bus, and he signed off on the Micah Parsons trade. He acted like he had nothing to do with it. I'm like,
yeah, he's stupid.
Yeah,
don't get me
terrible.
started.
Well, I think everybody played a role in that one.
Yeah.
I think
Parsons. I think Parsons had a
listen,
play in that one too.
Listen,
42-15 Indiana right now.
You didn't. Well, I mean, it was 35-7. You actually. I'm not mad about the Parsons trade because what you did with it was actually the actual right move.
Yeah, they did.
You took
for once.
You actually for the first time you actually took what you steal and said, okay, I had this money earmarked for Parsons. He didn't take it. I'm going to sign this guy, and extend all these offensive linemen. And he's probably going to use part of that money to help keep Pickens there. He might use part of that money to bring back Javonte Williams, who
He's
had
got to
a
negotiate
1,000.
with them, and that's been the problem.
See,
Yeah,
what
but-
sucks about
but-
The
Pickens is
negotiating has been the problem.
You don't want
And
white-haired
listen.
Yoda doing it.
yeah.
Right. Listen, here's the deal.
Backdoor
Don't want
deals.
that.
God honest truth, if Pickens is in it for the money, then he's gone.
He's gone. Yeah.
If he
Yeah.
actually likes what he says and says Dak's the best quarterback he's played for, and he likes CD Lamb being over there to help him take pressure off him, if the things that he says are actually from his heart and from legitimate, then he will stay here and he will take what is going to be a very lucrative
Team friendly
deal, but it will not be on the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL. If he wants to be the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL, he will go play for somebody else. He will not be as good. He will not have the numbers. But if you stay here and he really thinks that Dak Prescott is the best quarterback he's played for, and he really likes the team, and he really likes having Lamb on the other side, and isn't under all the pressure to be the number one, it can just be himself. This is the first season that you've had 17 games that you have not heard George Pickens is a diva, and George Pickens is a problem in the locker room, and George Pickens is a problem in practice, and he's throwing his helmet and he's beating up people in practice. You didn't hear one single thing from George Pickens all year long other than I'm good at football and I'm going to go out there and play. And if you want to continue to do that, then you sign with the Dallas Cowboys for a little less than what your market value is, and you go on and win some football games. If you want to be the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL, have a good time, George. Do you?
Yeah, he's
I don't.
and that's
have-
where it is.
I don't
he's not
have
taking a
weight
free
in what.
team-friendly deal.
I don't have weight in players
It's
saying
not
that
team
they're-
friendly. It's just not going to be the highest paid in the NFL.
Right, but I don't have a weight in when players say, "Oh, I'm happy here," and it's like, right. Let's have the offseason to just really determine that move, because I don't know how many times I've heard players do that, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Yeah, I'm gone," and you're like, "Wait, I
Right.
thought you liked it here," and it's
Right,
like,
But what
no,
I'm saying
out.
is,
like
in
it's just-
Pittsburgh and all the places that he's been, there have been all year. There's been Pickens drama. There was no
Right.
Pickens drama. Even in the first 3 or 4 weeks when they didn't throw in the ball all the time, I was like, here it comes. Pickens is going to lose his mind because he's not the number one. You didn't hear a peep. And then as soon as Lamb went down with his injury and got hurt, Pickens was like, hey, I'm over here if you'd like to throw me the ball. Oh, okay. And then they figured out how to use him and keep everybody happy. You didn't hear a word from Pickens. Not in an interview. He didn't even when times got tough. Here you are with 5 or 6 wins. You didn't hear Pickens go, this place, I made a huge mistake by coming. Not one time did he say anything about, I don't like it here. It's the worst decision I've ever made. He said, I absolutely love it.
Brian,
Lamb
who's his
signed
agent?
off on the deal.
Same one
Yeah,
with
who knows?
Parsons,
Same one
Yeah,
that
there it
was
There you have it.
that was Parsons' agent. Okay,
I believe so.
because that might
That
might
could
come
play a
back to
huge
bite
factor.
Jerry.
That
Honestly,
that
because
could be yes, absolutely.
he tried some shenanigans and that
I
did
did
not
not
go
know
over very
that.
well.
I
Then
did
he-
not know that.
Then he spoke
Here's-
to the media about that guy, which is like, really? You're gonna
Yeah,
throw the
I didn't-
agent under the bus?
I did not know that.
Yeah,
That could
that's-
change. That could
Here's-
change things dramatically because
Well,
he did do that deal
he-
all wrong.
He tried to bamboozle Micah. Micah's like,
Tried to get
cool.
tried to get
And-
Micah in the broom closet like he did
Yeah.
Tony Romo.
and
And
they
it
shook
didn't work.
hands, and
He
and
tried that
Jerry
with
thought
Emmett,
it was
too.
done. Jerry thought it was done, and he's like, "Call my agent." And Jerry's like, "What? I thought we just made a deal." And he's like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "What? No." And yeah, that's where it went south. But the only, and you're right, Craig, about Pickens. Everywhere he's been, you've heard rumors, cancer, all that good stuff, right? The only complaint with Pickens this year, not from him, is he's lack of effort on some games. They've talked about it.
It was only one game. It was only one game, and he came out after the game and he told the reporters, "I that was on me. I didn't have the best game that I should have had," and he kind of owned it, and came out the next game and was George Pickens like. And listen, when you are a 5-win football team and you are getting curb stomped every week, it really is hard to find the effort to go through and throw it out there and lay it all on the line and dive for balls. And you see it in baseball all the time. Guys that are on 81-win teams, and then they go to a team that has 100 wins, and they're like, hey, that guy is kind of out here diving for stuff now. What happened? Well, yeah, 100 wins will make you do that. 70 wins probably won't. 13 wins will make you jump through hoops. 5 wins and a defense that can't stop a nosebleed won't make you do those things.
Yeah, it's the Myles Garrett thing. Myles Garrett said he did not want to play for Cleveland, and here he is breaking the sack.
Yeah.
Mistake.
Yeah, because they paid him, and they
Huge
was like, he
mistake.
was like, I'm out of here, and they're like, here's a buttload of money.
I'm here.
I love Cleveland. I love Cleveland.
Yeah.
And
but
so much shit about that.
Listen, kudos to him, because a lot of people, i.e.
left.
Max Crosby, says, I love LA or Las Vegas because you paid me a lot of money. And then they say, hey, we're not going to play you because we want to lose this football game and get the number 1 pick. And he's like, no, I don't play like that. So I'm out, and I will not be a Vegas Raider anymore. So kudos to Myles Garrett for, even though they didn't have the best season, he came in and gave all his effort and got the sack total. And so kudos to him for giving the effort. A lot of people would have taken the money and then just given not as great of effort. He comes in and is the best defensive. Yeah, he's the defensive player of the year by far. And I hope he gets a bonus for all the kickers in his contract and makes all the money because he came out and earned it.
Yeah, he's the best pass rusher in football, hands down.
No, I don't like Joe Burrow laid down for the last sack. That wasn't exactly.
Pulled a Brett Favre.
I would have liked it to happen. Yeah.
Did you see that awkward guy? That awkward exchange of that guy that lost the record.
That guy
and Brett.
Yes.
He's like, you hurt me,
Yeah.
Brett. You hurt me. I'm gonna hurt you like you did me. And Brett's like, the hell's this old guy? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Brett's like,
Speaking
I
of
just
that-
didn't want to die, dude.
Yeah. Well, this was a little different. I mean, the Brett one, like, they just had to kneel the ball and the game was over, and they like decided to do some bootleg weird play. And Joe Burrows
Right.
was actually during an actual, like, they were still playing, so it was a little different. But do y'all take away that, hey, it's 17 games, you didn't get it done in 16 when you need to put an asterisk by it? Some people.
I mean,
I'm like,
no, because Strahan didn't. Strahan straight up said he could have got it last week, and it just didn't work out. And just like in baseball now, listen, the game has changed, and there are people hitting more home runs now than ever, and records. Listen, that record lasted a lot longer than you thought it would last. In a game now that was very run, you had Emmitt Smith. Emmitt Smith's record probably will never be broken now because of the way football has manipulated into a high-flying pass offense. 4,000 yards used to be a thing of, you'd be a Hall of Famer instantly if you had 4,000 yards. Now you had 8 guys. Now you had 9 guys with 4,000 yards this year. And it should have been. It should have been
Barry Sanders.
If Sanders has any kind of offensive line back in the day, then he or just stays in the league longer than he did, then he passes Emmitt Smith. There's no doubt from a skill standpoint that he made runs that made your eyes. It was unbelievable. He was there 1 second and he was gone the next, and the next thing you know, he's down the field. And the thing that I loved most about Barry Sanders is on every touchdown, there was no helmet takeoff. There was no deal.
Backflips.
Here's the ball to the ref, and he's over on the sideline before you ever knew what happened. There was nothing, no arrogance, no showboat, and he was gone from the league way too soon. And, he's had a lot of health issues in his life. He just had a heart attack and is, lucky to be alive from the heart attack that he had. But he's still very involved in the game and just lost the love for playing football is all it was. And I guess on a team that was that bad for that long, you would probably do that. Emmitt Smith just happened to catch a team that got 900 draft picks for a good trade and won a bunch of football games, and had one of the best coaches in coaching history.
Well, almost hour and a half. Been a pretty good episode. I think we're going to wrap it up here. Good conversations, guys. Wildcard Weekend. We're excited to get into football playoffs tomorrow. That's all I'm doing. I'm going out to grocery shopping. I'm going to sit my ass on the couch and I'm going to cook some smash burgers and I'm going to watch some football.
And watch the Packers lose to the Bears.
I'm gonna watch
That's
the
what he's going to
Packers
be doing when he's smashing
Yeah,
that burger. He's
when-
like,
Yeah. Ah, Caleb Williams.
I'm gonna watch the Packers win and get to text you guys and laugh at it. And then
I'll keep my phone. I will keep my phone handy.
keep your phone handy.
I'm gonna mail your daughter some Packer or some Bears jerseys. For
I
you.
will burn it. The Bears fans, man, they've this year they've reminded me why I hate them so much. They're just as bad as Eagles fans.
I think Brian said he had a Bears friend that's or guy that lives close or a friend.
He's right down the street. We watch every game together usually, and he said, "Hey, what are we watching the game Saturday?" I said, "I'm not. The playoffs, I get too intense," and I said, "I stay home. The wife and the kids put on the Packer jerseys, and we make a thing of it. We cook some food, we eat, we hang out. The wife actually watches the game with me.
I force
get
my kids
too-
to watch the Packers and Packers jerseys.
I
Real.
get
That's
too
child
I
abuse,
get
Brian.
I get too intense. I said I cannot in the playoffs. Regular season, fine. Playoffs, I won't. So he said fair enough. But
He said he wouldn't make it out of that house alive if they lost. So I see.
it's for his own safety. Oh, you
Yeah.
should have seen us at Pluckers when we lost that game, and I'm like, you kidding me? Anyways. All right, Steven. Well, thanks for jumping on the show. We need to do this more often. We'll have Lee. We need to get Leon. I know he's on having a vacation too. So 5 people on here would have been crowded tonight. It would have been hard
It would have been.
to get talking time. But appreciate you, Steven. Appreciate you guys. Looking forward to the playoffs and a new year of the Sportscast. And jump on and follow Them Boys podcast. And God bless. And remember,
Keep it out
Keep it
spoken.
outspoken.